my head high. I got my wings to carry me. I don't know freedom. I want my dreams to rest.
I did my project, we did our project on Black communities where they buy at local store. We were able to go and see how people buy, especially African Americans, how they go to these stores, like for example, the marketplace of the Gonzales or the Food for Less. But mostly of the Food for Less are occupied African Americans, where they go shop. Some honestly are not willing to do the culture behind the type of food that they do, but others are willing to do to go for healthy food. So we see how that helps the community and helps them live their lives. So what I liked about this project was that we were able to collaborate and we were able to find information about them, and we were able to write like the history part of why people started why people started eating healthy, and that was a project. And
I'll talk about reasons food access is exercised and promoted. One reason is that it matters. Studies have shown that health and food access have a relationship with one another. For example, African Americans living in a census tract with a supermarket were more likely to meet the federal guidelines of fruit and vegetable consumption. So this shows that food access and health have a relationship, and that food access is significant. Another reason is food access has benefits. Benefits include improved diet and health, developed economies, and strengthened communities. Individuals and businesses can also have their own reasons as to why they promote food access. We were able to get an interview with the owners of Revolucionario, a restaurant in South LA that serves healthy and affordable food. And Susan Park, the chef's wife, told us how teaching at low-income schools made her realize the food insecurity that children were experiencing. And this prompted her to open Revolucionario. Another example is D'Artagnan Scorza, the CEO of the Social Justice Learning Institute, and he said that young men in his community wanted to open urban gardens. So as we can see from Susan Park and D'Artagnan, food access can be motivated by personal experience, but also as a response to a community's wants and needs. So although many reasons exist and they vary from person to person or company to organization, they all share a common understanding, and it's that food access matters.
Hi, my name is Corey Simmons, and I'm here to talk about African Americans and the barriers they are faced with in regards to healthy food access. One of the two biggest problems that I found was health education and area of living. With regards to health education, African Americans, mostly the older generation, didn't really know what they were putting into their bodies. They didn't understand that soul food, one of the big main parts of the African American culture, were actually very unhealthy. Another major problem is the area in which large amounts of black people reside are absent of healthy food stores, creating a food desert. This is particularly upsetting because in order to obtain healthy foods, the black population is going to have to travel outside of their city limits, and most don't really have a steady form of transportation. Also, there are large amounts of fast food restaurants that are cluttered around the urban population, and they offer food at a very cheap and accessible. I go into the first detail of the correlation between socioeconomic status and availability of healthy foods further in my paper. That's good.
My name is Marilyn Westby, and we did our project on local food access and decreasing food deserts in low-income communities through the integration of local health-conscious restaurants and urban gardens. We focused on South LA and Inglewood for the most part, and found that a very high amount of benefits come along with just the implementation of a choice between healthy food and fast foods. The positive impacts include health and economic benefits, increasing resources, and community engagement. We interviewed the owners of a restaurant called Revolucionario, who has found their niche in South LA. They explained that they have gotten a lot of positive feedback from the neighborhood, and the support they have received for their healthy food has caused them to want to branch out to Inglewood. Support for things such as urban farming and health-conscious foods is the key to sustainability and will help bring more healthy foods to low-income communities in the future.
Williams, and I'm going to talk about what is being done to get the community engaged in bringing healthy food access. Being more aware of health issues caused by poor access to healthy food, they are working together to bring food to their communities through what is called the Food Justice Movement. In a report called Facilitating Change in the Food Justice Movement, D'Artagnan Scorza, the executive director of Social Justice Learning Institute, believes that by educating the community about foods we eat and encouraging nutritious eating for a healthier lifestyle, individuals will work to gain access to healthier foods, thus improving public health outcomes. The Social Justice Learning Institute is one of the many organizations working to increase education, health, and well-being for minorities. They give people the power to enact social change through research, training, and community mobilization. In an effort to get the community of Inglewood, California engaged, they have created the 100 Seeds of Change program. The program plans to develop a local food network by activating home plots, schools, and vacant lots with gardens, nutrition classes, cooking demos, and healthy living education. SJSL also supports gardening in local K-12 schools. They implement gardening into the curriculum and have integrated gardens into participating schools. SJSL also plants trees in the LA area. Another food organization is the Community Services Unlimited. Through their Community Food Village project, they plan to have food grown, distributed, and purchased from local urban farms in South LA. The village marketplace they set up sells through small community farm stands where the produce comes from CSU's local mini urban farms. Those who subscribe to their Farm Fresh Produce Bag program receive weekly bags or boxes of fresh produce for a low price. Much like SJSL, their Growing Healthy program works to get children to participate in urban gardening and food-based learning. The program consists of weekly classroom lectures on urban agriculture and weekly visits to the garden. The students grow their own produce and then sell this produce to the school's community at stands on the campus.